So just let me know whether you all can hear the voice. Okay, last time so a lot of comments came. The voice is not audible or something like a lot of comments. So what about this time? Just let me know. Just let me know whether you can hear my voice. No one is answering. Who is the rep?
Yes, madam. It's clear.
Miss Nethmini.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, can you hear?
Yes, ma'am. We can hear you.
It's any problem. I should start. So we were talking about very basic things in animal science. So the things what you should know before we start the lectures in animal science is principles of animal production. It means like you're going to study very briefly about what you're going to follow for the whole 4 years in animal science. Very brief. So we'll do everything here very brief. Okay, so we'll talk about the nutrition, we'll talk about few anatomy, and we'll talk about little forage part. We'll talk a little bit of production, some integration, so on. Maybe you, if you get your handbook, got the handbook, so you know, so you can see. So the syllabus, the curriculum, we used to call curriculum, you know, and how do you should know how you are going to be assessed. There will be so many in-course assessments, so you may know those things. You may have a quiz, meet exam, and so on, and assignments time to time. So you will be having so many in-course assessments, okay, and then you will be having theory. So theory covers a lot more than the practical because that credit hours. So credit hours here it's 2 hours subject. Animal science, these principles of interaction is 2 credits. That means it's around 23 hours lectures and 15 hours practical. And your work is there. Functional hours is given, so it's your work. Those time you have to use the time to spend on your science. And we'll give some, you may have to write assignments, so we have to do during that functional hours. So I think I was about the terminology. So I'll start. Okay, so we talked these things. Okay. Okay. Very basic things. So just quickly, I'm recalling. So species, cattle, buffalo, bovine. Bovine means sheep, porcine means swine, equine is horses, caprine goats. So these are the species and the type of meat: beef, veal, pork, lamb, Jawar, by milk, neutered, castrated, not used for breeding. Okay. That newborn, the ages means what for these. The horses I have to from here. And someone we call E.
Excuse me, ma'am. Voice is not audible, ma'am.
I couldn't do today. I will take another class anyway. So is it audible now? Just put in the chat box. I can read.
Yes, ma'am.
Is my voice
Yes, ma'am.
audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, thank you. So these kind of technical problems, I'm really sorry because last time my internet wasn't a problem, so then I get corrected. But now the Zoom account, it's a university account, so there's some problem. It was not connecting. So anyway, we are looking about these the terms. So what are the terms very important for this animal science for you all to follow the lectures? So I just still there. Anyway, so we are here in the goat. So the goat, especially these goat female, we call young female doe or doeling. Mature one we call the doe. Male young one buck intact means used for breeding. Mature we call into a male buck castrated feeder. After castrated, after puberty, So here the feeder calf or feeder pigs, after they weaned, they are taking to a confinement, another place separated from the mother. So that we call the feeder calf or feeder pig, whatever. Stocker calf, going on grass after weaning. Okay. So they are going take stocker calf means they are taking to grass. The feeding after weaning. Weanling just removed from the mother. Okay, termination of nursing. Weanling. So weaning, you should know the meaning of weaning. So weanlings means the animals just removed from mother. Stop nursing, giving milk or whatever. Okay. So neutered means castrated. Okay. Castrated here, castrated. So in the previous one, I should say neutered. Okay. Somebody asks about neutered. So these are the names given. Neutered means castrated. Okay. Castrated. Castrated. Remove the reproductive organs. Okay. Weanlings. And status of female. Wet means they are lactating. When animal in wet, we call that means like we call cow in wet period means they are lactating, getting milk. The cow in dry period means not lactating. Okay, not lactating, not taking milk or not feeding or anything. We call dry period, wet. Cow in wet, cow in dry. Open. Open means they are not pregnant. Okay, bred means they are pregnant. So these names we use when you study further. So in heat means she is in heat, usually cow. So seasons when female is receptive to breeding by male. So that's a period. For the animals, every 21 days there is a cycle we call the heat period. So during that period, the female, so it's around 21 days. So for the cow, it's 21 days, animal to animal different. Cow, sheep, goat, usually 21 days. With 21 days, sometimes 20. So that's depend. That period we call heat period. So there are several phases are there. So many phases are there. There are 4 phases. A particular period, the female is receptive. So you get this name, receptive, to breeding by male. So that time only she can be bred. Otherwise, no use. When you breed at the period in their life, it's useless. But during that period, a heat period, even the heat period is 21 days. Even that there are phases we call estrus period. That period only she is receptive. Maybe 12 hours, okay, 12 to 24 hours, very short period she is receptive. If you breed, so if you want to do artificially, you want to breed the animal, you should know which period she is receptive. So she will show signs. Okay, these things we will come to that later. So that period is she is receptive. So that period you can breed her. Then only the breeding becomes success. So at least one calf per year. So not at least one calf per year is the objective in cattle breeding. Cattle breeding, and when you when you talk about this bovine, so their pregnancy period is around 360, something like that, 335 to 350, something like that, their pregnancy period. So to get one calf per year is usually the objective of a farming management. So this period is this heat period is very, very important for a farmer to identify whether she is in heat. So that period only you can breed the animal to get a calf. If you miss that, then you have to wait another 21 days to breed her. So you are not able to get a calf per year. So that's Sri Lankan farmers. That is our objective. So to get one calf per year. So we should very, very, very thorough about this heat period. we should know what is a heat period. So that period is the female is receptive to breed by male animal. So that period you should know. So every 21 days that comes. Not all 21 days are available. Certain period, maybe 2 to 3 days she's in heat. Even that period, it's around 12 hours. 12 hours to 18 hours. That's depend. Only she's receptive. If you mate that period only, she will get pregnant. Otherwise, she will not get pregnant and you don't get the calves. Okay, so this is very, very important. So I would like to ask you to do a little bit work on this heat period. Okay, estrous cycle. Estrous cycle. Okay, you refer about estrous cycle. So I'll share that one in chat box so you get it, your assignment, okay? Assignment. Refer about, okay. Just wait, I'm typing. Assignment on estrous period in cow. Okay. Somebody raised hand. Why? Mayuri. Why you raised your hands? Hmm? What's the problem? Why you raised the hand, Mayuri? So did you all get this assignment? One page, not more than that. Okay. It's about the estrous period in cow. So this is very important when you talk about animal science further studies. This is very, very, very important about this heat or estrous period. So both are same. So they called animal in heat or animal in estrus. So did you get? Just reply. I'm already having
Yes,
some.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, do it. I mean, it's only about one page, less than a page. What you understand, you write it, and I will. The practical coordinator will contact, and you have to send it to her mail. Okay. So I'll tell her, she will contact. So you read about this estrus and what is estrus, okay? And if you have any problems, you ask me next class. So because that is very, very important for you all. The cycling, okay? Cycling means not bred and having normal estrus cycle. That means cycling. So I told this heat comes every 21 days. It's like a cycle. Okay, it's like a cycle. Every 20 days, the heat estrus period is coming. So cycling animal means she's not bred because if the estrus period is coming again and again means she's not bred, she's not pregnant. If she's லட்சிக்கான லெக்சர்ஸ் லேட்டர் நம்ம யூடியூப் கூட எடுக்கிறேன்னா அந்த இதுக்கு தானே எடுக்கிறீங்க சரி அனுப்பி விடுறேன் sorry for the call so as if she's not cycling means she's whether sometimes she could be pregnant so some other reasons are there the disease condition abnormal condition also there that should not be cycling but if she is not cycling usually that animal would have been pregnant if she is cycling not pregnant having normal estrus cycle so here's the spelling you get it heat or estrus are same okay springing near delivery of offspring okay like near to delivery okay delivery a young animal newborn animal so delivery act okay in animals different if it is swine pig we call furrowing sow furrowing bovine cattle buffalo we call calving so it is We call carving, but L is silent. Okay. Equine we call falling, or mare, no, we call mare falling. Ovine, lambing, caprine, the goats, kiddie. So these names you should know. So we should, after this we used to go with this. Okay. The delivery of young one, the common term is parturition. Parturition. Okay, parturition. Okay, so I made the spellings in your chat box. Delivery or parturition is a common term, but in species to species, the name's different. If it is swine, we call furrowing. If it is bovine, we call calving. If it is equine, horses falling, ovine, lambing, caprine, kiddie. Okay. So calving interval, some terms, reproductive terms you should know. Calving intervals mean time between calves. Calving intervals means delivering of one calf, the period between delivering of another calf, a calving interval. So that's what I told for a cattle. Calf per year is the objective. That's what calving interval is 365 days. So whether goats or whatever, between two deliveries, we call calving interval. Calving interval, falling interval, whatever the species, you have to change this one. The interval is the time between calves, so lambs or foals or whatever. Dystocia. Okay, this is dystocia, difficulty in birth. So when the animal, that's the problem when they are the delivery period, normal delivery is there. Sometimes they have problem in difficulty in birth. So that's we call dystocia. Dystocia, gestation period. So that the time when she is pregnant, we call gestation. So these terms only we use. We don't say she's pregnant. She's in gestation. Okay, so the gestation is the time period the animal is pregnant. Pregnancy testing, postpartum interval. What is postpartum interval means time between birth and to next conception. Okay, time between after given a birth, okay, until next conception. So this is a very critical period. Okay, so this period, postpartum period, is very critical period for a for an animal. Okay, so postpartum means postpartum interval means the time between birth, okay, and the next conception. So once a cow is given a birth, from that day till she gets pregnant, the next day, and not the next day, that next time when she gets pregnant, that is the postpartum interval. So this is very critical because that determines whether animal is going to get a calf per year. The parturition, okay, giving birth. So that's the act of giving birth is a parturition. Okay. Grazing. Okay, grazing means pasture. So grazing means eating grass. Okay, pasture is improved. Okay, pasture is the type of feed the animal consume. We call pasture, grass or legumes or whatever they call it. Pasture. Range is unimproved. Okay, roughage feedstuff high in fiber. So we call roughage, or roughage means feedstuff which is high in fiber, hay, dry roughage stored in some way. Rotational mob intensive grazing, stocking rate, number of animals per unit area. Stocking rate means you stock how many animals you stock in a unit area, whether it could be acres or hectares, whatever the unit, but number of animals. So the stocking rate. Grazing pressure, closeness of grazing. Sometimes the animal, when they are eating, they graze even the up to the floor. Okay, up to the floor. So that's grazing pressure. Sometimes they just top only they used to graze. So that's depend on the type of animal. Okay, the type of animal, preference, species, and everything depends on that. Okay. So these things we'll study later, but just time for remember. The time being you remember. Eructation means belching. You know when you go close to this cattle, time to time they remove gas from their mouth. So that we call eructation. Okay. Fill gut contents. The contents fill in the gut we call fill. Post-gastric fermentation. Okay. Post-gastric fermentation means in a cecum, so the part digestive system, so animal same. So they have this mouth, esophagus, stomach. The stomach is different for the ruminant animal. There are complex stomachs. And then the small intestine, large intestine, cecum is the large intestine part. The content and fermentation in the cecum. Fermentation means like some bacteria and microorganisms are there to ferment certain products. So the cattle is eating these grasses. So you have seen the animal is eating the grasses, but we cannot eat grasses. We cannot eat concentrates. But how this the digestion takes place in animal, especially in these cattle ruminant, the ruminant animals. So the animals are divided into two, ruminants and monogastric. So ruminant animal we classify mainly based on their digestive system. In the digestive system, their stomach. So ruminant animal, the cattle, buffalo, sheep, goat comes under ruminant. So these animal is having a different digestive system, especially the stomach. So their stomach we call complex stomach. It's not the stomach similar to us, but monogastric animals like pigs, pig, poultry, the chicken and so on, the poultry, even the human, dogs, cats, carnivorous animal, horses, they have this simple stomach, only one stomach, not a complex stomach. So, but they can utilize this certain amount of concentrates. The concentrates is given to pig, swine, pig, equine, the horses. Small amount you can give because they are hindgut. In the cecum, there are little amount of microorganism. They digest this. So that we call post-gastric fermentation. But I mean, we also have bacteria, this probiotic and so on. But our bacteria is not digesting this kind of concentrate. So these roughages. But this animal, they have those kind of advantage. But we cannot feed more concentrates, grasses to swines and horses. It is limited for them because they are doing their digestion in their cecum, large intestine. But cattle, like ruminants, they are doing in their stomach. Stomach is a big compartment for them. So they do a lot of fermentation. We call that fermentation, digestion, fermentation, because the digestion by the microorganism, beneficial microorganism. Rumination, the regurgitation or chewing the gut. So animals, these cattle, the daytime they keep on eating, just keep on eating. And after sometimes, especially these afternoons, they lie down some shadow area and they are sort of chewing. That means they take up from the stomach. So when they are eating, when they are grazing, we call when they are eating the grasses and they sending to stomach. So when they are free, like they lie down on a shadow somewhere, they lie down and they take up the things from the stomach and chew again. So re-chew, that we call regurgitation, we call rumination. In terms, we call rumination. Okay. Then the shrink. Okay. Shrink means loss of weight. Do you have any problems until this eructation is removal of gas from animal? Okay, so this rumination process release lot of gas. Rumination, the fermentation process release lot of gas. So that gas is emitted time to time. Okay, so uh, because of that, they have been removing gases. Okay. The confined feed, bunk or troughs. Bunk or troughs, they keep in a space ad libitum or full feed. Ad libitum means you are giving full feed. You are giving full feed. You are giving enough amount of feed to the animal. Animal have free access. They can eat whatever they like. That's ad libitum. Okay. So on feed means receiving high concentrate diet for rapid gain. On feed means receiving a high concentrate or diet for rapid gain. Okay. Reproduction terms. So estrus. So estrus cycle. So that's what I told, when a female is in heat, we call estrus. So the cycle between one heat to the other heat, we call estrus cycle. So the cattle is 21 days. And estrus means not cycling. Seasonal breeders, nutritional, so many reasons are there when they are not cycling. Seasonal breeders means only breed certain time of year. Like sheep, you cannot breed every time year. Okay, you have particular period, that period only you can breed. So seasonal means during a certain season only they have been receiving the male. So AI, artificial insemination, collecting semen and mechanically depositing in female. The human is doing, a man is doing, okay, collecting from one animal and injecting, not allowing natural. Rectal palpation means palpating the uterus, ovaries rectally. So we insert our hands, especially these veterinary people, they insert their hand through the rectum and you can palpate the reproductive organs, whether uterus, ovaries, and so on. So that is rectal palpation. Artificial vagina means that reflects the natural vagina that used to collect the semen. So in male animal, when you are using for breeding, so you may, I will talk to these things later. So when you want to collect the semen, that should imitate the natural vagina. So artificial vagina is designed like that and designed like natural one. So when you collect the semen from a bull, we take this one. Service means a breeding, act of breeding. Service means act of breeding. Puberty at age at first ovulation or viable sperm in male animal. Okay, so these terms are very important. Okay. So I'll stop here because I have another assignment. The thing, so next week also, no, I don't have, I will not take for you Wednesday. I will take later after your mid break only. I'll take 2 hours per week. But for the time being, I'll take 1 hour. Every Monday, I'll take this 7 to 8. Next week also, I will check if I having any problem like this, internet problem or whether the Zoom account problem. Because as this is peak hours, they used to mention this kind of problem comes. So, so I will check the next week also. This time, same time, 7 to 8. If I'm having problem, I will get you another time, maybe after 12. So they told some people after 12, some the time that period there won't be problem because not the all lectures are taking, something like that. So, but now I'll stop. If you have any questions, please ask me in next class because I have another lectures. So I should thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Please ask me next week. Yes, please ask your questions next week. Okay, next class. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Ma'am, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.